want to be alone. Close the door. There's something for you on the plate.
Oh, God.
Take off your clothes for me.
Hi, my name is Inés and I am the first investigator, and I am going to focus on victims and the timeline.
My name is Diego and I am investigator B, which I'm going to be focused on Jack, theories and investigation.
Today we're going to talk about the case of Jack the Ripper, one of the most famous unsolved crime cases in the whole world. This takes place in London in 1888, and it involves a series of murders that were never solved. This case matters because it shows how limited criminal investigations were at that moment and how inefficient they were.
Ripper. Jack the Ripper was known specifically for targeting prostitutes. He specifically went to the Whitechapel area where they could be found. His identity remains unknown until this day. Investigators are crazy with that case because they have no evidence or any source to know who he was.
At that time, London was experiencing extreme poverty over COVID. Many women used to live in dangerous conditions and would walk alone at night to survive. So this gave Jack a perfect target. The police were struggling to control crime in the area because there were many bad guys.
While the murders happened because of Jack the Ripper during that time, authorities started to lose credibility because no one in the city felt safe. Because also, what helped that is that the newspapers exaggerated stories and started, changing information. They started changing that, and that's why they created like more fear into society. And all of the people of London, they were like crazy because no, you know what? I don't want to go. I don't want to stay that night on the street because Jack the Ripper is outside.
No. Come on. You know the way, right?
I'll kill you when I get out.
Watch where you step. You could get hurt. Hey, learner. Holding cell.
We're going to walk through the timeline of this case. So, the first known murder occurred in August 1888. By that time, the police arrived. The killer had already vanished, of course. He was a master in disguise, and several victims were found within weeks of each other.
Before the final murder happened, the police officers had received a lot of letters from Jack the Ripper. Some investigators believe the killer had planned the crimes carefully because of the meticulous manner in which he committed the crimes. And some of them believe that he was like a kind of doctor or something because he was too precise that it was unbelievable.
All letters from the Ripper. You won't believe how many confession letters we got in the last little while. Some of them are works of art.
On November 9th, when Mary Jane Kelly was murdered, my brother was not in London. He was in...
Historians have examined letters, police reports, and medical evidence. Researchers have been debating whether the letters were real or fake. Because of the magnitude of the case around that time, investigators believe that there were some people that could have made like the bad act of sending those letters to the police in order for, having some fun or, people.
Of the victims have been an important part of the investigation, and scholars have been trying to understand their lives and explain why they were targeted. But the most probable thing is that they were targeted because they were vulnerable women in vulnerable situations, and they were the perfect target for something like this to happen.
Say hello to Miss Kosminski. Hello. I'll be right back.
Do you remember the night when your mom disappeared?
She is in heaven.
Yes.
So, Jack the Ripper did show knowledge of human anatomy, which suggests he could have been a doctor, as I just mentioned before, a butcher, or someone with medical training, who knows. Some suspects did have strong abilities, but others did, which makes the investigation even more confusing. So, what? The killer may have been a local resident who knew the streets very well, or may not have been. He could have been someone who moved unnoticed through the city, or maybe he wasn't a man. He could have been a woman. It's a possibility, no?
Yeah,
Inez?
I agree with that. I mean, there is no certainty in that he
who
was
knows?
a man.
Maybe he was a
We don't
woman
know.
because
Nobody
they're a little
knows.
bit crazy.
Yeah,
Just
well,
kidding.
that's a very crazy theory. I think we can all agree, but it's not discarded at all. But well, yeah, the police did try to catch this person. We don't know if it was man or woman, but of course that they didn't succeed. They were a little bit useless at that time. They did increase the patrols and they did question many suspects, but they never came to a conclusion. And he or she was never identified. There were also some letters that arrived to the police anonymously that were apparently written by the killer, as we mentioned earlier, or that might have been completely fake because people were literally hallucinating with this killer and they were afraid of him. So maybe it was fake. And even today, so the investigators do question the accuracy of that evidence, and historians debate if the main suspects were actually guilty.
Yeah, and we shouldn't forget the fact that the media did influence public opinion. So maybe they doing it on purpose, those letters, in order for making the population to have fear, or in order to make money from the newspapers. Who knows? Who knows?